Hey, welcome to my kitchen and Cooking with Dave, where we make everything perfect or it's just not going to even hit the internet. It's my son's birthday, asked him what he wanted for his birthday meal, and his answer was sous vide tenderloin steak, because I made it before and he absolutely loves it. Not that anyone wouldn't love this sort of thing, so I'm just going to show you guys how I make it. First of all, you got to start with a nice cut of meat. Spend the bucks. It's close to $40 once you put tax on for that much meat. You'd be able to buy about 100 hamburgers for that, but this is going to end up being delicious. So, what is sous vide? Sous vide means, I don't know what it means. It's French for something, but basically it means you're cooking in water. Now, we don't want our steaks to boil, and they're not going to be soggy afterwards. We're going to put them in a large Ziploc bag. Right. Yeah. And we're just going to put them in basically an immersion cooker. We're going to lower them underwater inside the plastic, and they're going to cook that way. Now, most people, well, anyone that buys meat like this better be eating it rare or medium rare, because if you're not, you're wasting your money. So I like to cook it to about 135 degrees, so that's what we actually set our water bath for. Come on over here. Here's the simplest of the sous vide setup. I've actually created a bit of a robot to do it, but it's been a little finicky trying to calibrate the temperature sensors, so we're just going to go the old analog way. So anyhow, you get a pot full of water. Bigger the pot, the better. It's more thermal mass. It takes longer for the temperature to run away on you either way. Just something to hang your stuff from. You need your Ziploc bag. And let's see what temperature we're at right now. Not sure if you're going to be able to see this. A little bit of foggy on the thing there. We're at about 126 degrees right now, so we've got a little bit to go. But the cool thing about this is at cooking temperature, you can put your hand in the water. So we're not too worried about the plastics melting or leaching chemicals into your food, because it just really isn't that hot. Cooking meat doesn't take that much temperature, at least a medium rare. So what are we going to put on our meat? Are we going to marinate it? Are we going to put all sorts of different spices on it? No, we're not. We're going to put some salt on it. And we're going to put some garlic on it. That's all I ever do. You want to put pepper on it, you want to put anything else on it, be my guest. But this is what I do. Get her all rubbed in. You got to add more, add more. Don't be shy. If you're going to take a piece of meat like this and put barbecue sauce on it, just leave now. So, what would be nice here would be to have a vacuum pump of some sort, but I don't have that, so I just use my peristaltic lungs and suck on the bag to suck all the air out. Now, it's not incredibly important, just would mean it takes a little bit more time. You don't want any air bubbles, because an air bubble is an insulator, so instead of cooking through here, we had an air bubble there, would have to cook around and get back to it. So you'll still do it, it'll just take a little bit longer. So you want to try and get as much air out of there as possible. So one thing I do is I don't want my meat to actually touch the bottom of the pot and get cooked extra through that. So just throw a few spoons in the bottom, and it keeps it up off the bottom. So it's hard to see because my thermometer's kind of got a little bit of foggy on it, but I'm pretty happy with the temperature that it's been holding there now for over an hour. And if you do need to change the temperature, it's just the very slightest, almost imperceptible move. Just that much at a time, and let it settle for like 20 minutes and see what it's at. If you're cooking and it starts to get a little over temperature and you're like, don't panic, just take a little bit of cold water in a cup and pour it in, and it'll immediately shock the temperature down, and you can just pay attention to it. Right now, when I put the meat in, I'm going to leave it and probably check it every half hour or so, just to make sure I'm still in the ballpark for what I want. But if I do make any changes, like pouring water in or touching the dial, then I'll probably check every 15 minutes or so, just to keep it right where I want it to be. So right now I'm ready to put this in. Lower it down into the water. Make sure that everything's kind of in. And normally I hang it, but with this system here, I think I'm just going to clip it so that the Ziploc area doesn't go in. I won't worry about the little bamboo, but oh, look right here. Got to make sure that goes in the water. Again, we're cooking at temperatures where it's hot for sure, but it's not melt your skin off hot. You can put your hand right in it. So this is going to perfectly cook the meat all the way through, and then all we'll have to do is sear it afterwards. Yum. Now to finish off the sous vide, they very often say a cast iron pot is one of the best ways to do it, because you just put a little bit of oil in it, you crank the heat up all the way, get it as hot as possible, and you get a nice sear on your meat. I love cast iron. I use it all the time. This is my go-to frying pan here, but if heat's a good thing, I can do better than this. Alright, so I think it's been on enough. Time's up to you. For steaks these size, I would guess they would take about 2 hours or so to go. I've had them in for probably 4 at least. But the beauty is you could leave it in for 8-10 hours, no problem. You can't overcook this because you're only taking it up to the actual cook temperature. So, now, when these do come out, they look kind of gross. Not much to them here. What we need is a nice sear to make them look more appetizing. And that Maillard reaction always is nice too to have. Makes them taste a little bit better. So we're going to pat them dry a little bit here. And then we're going to sear them. Now, searing can be done in a cast iron pan, as I said before, but the more heat the better, right? That's what they say, so I'm going for the gold. Well, that's got a bit of warmth to it.
Yeah, brush that off.
You did already grind it all up, so should be pretty clean. Look at that big skate.
That's awesome. Oh, it looks so good.
It's actually burning my fingers.
Oh.
Just being this close to it.
Holy God. Ooh, that's a nice fire.
Wow.
Oh, it's so good. I can smell it.
Alright, so let's see how she comes out here. Oh, that looks good. Nice even color from one side to the other. There's barely any gradient because we did it with such a high heat. It's just really seared on the outside, and the inside is just cooked perfect. Here, let's get a nice little slice here for the birthday boy.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Okay, so just to show you how tender this meat is, I'm cutting it with a fork, even going across the grain with very little pressure. It is just so tender. I mean, you're going to get tender meat anyways when you're using tenderloin. It's kind of in the name, right? But when you cook it this way, it just, oh, it's like dessert. Mmm. Mmm. Mmm.